Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार, हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची एफएम लंबा साथी.
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot.
देखे में लाल लाल, खाए में हाय हाय. Tangi tauwa में Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva. It's hot.
हम वहीं के लिए लंबा सा में रहता है, तो क्या बताइए हम मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है.
Mirchi FM, बहुत जुलूम जुलूम.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Tonight, family mourns the death of mother and child in freak accident. North Highway construction progressing well, and another vessel to serve maritime islands. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate, and this is FBC News. The horrific bus accident that killed two in Suva yesterday afternoon has left a family in mourning. Even more tragic, the mother and daughter were in Suva from Kandavu to take back the body of a relative who died in another road accident in Ba a week ago. Eleanor Tarangaivu has the story.
Alasini Verakota was waiting for Serwe Rokoseru and her 3-year-old daughter Paulini Tumbuna to return home from shopping last night. They were going to pack their stuff for their return to Nambukelewira in Kandavu tonight.
It's been a really difficult time for our family. We are still in the middle of one funeral, and now the deaths of the mother and her daughter has really been difficult for us.
Rokoseru and her daughter Paulini had just finished shopping and were walking through the bus stand when they were crushed between two buses.
They were going to return to Kandavu on the boat tonight when the body of our family member is taken to the village. They went yesterday to prepare for their return. We were waiting last night, and when it got late we were worried. Then we got word they were in an accident.
A DC's bus hit the back of this Nasese bus, causing a chain reaction that saw the Nasese bus forced into the back of a Cityline bus with the mother and child caught in between. The bus allegedly at fault was driven by a bus checker and entered the bus stand through the exit. It also hit 3 other buses before the main collision. A vehicle examiner from the LTA inspected the DC's bus after claims that it had engine problems. Rokoseru and Paulini will be buried in their village in Kandavu.
The mother and daughter, their bodies will be taken back to the village tomorrow on board the Lomaiviti Princess.
The post-mortem examination has been conducted and police investigations continue. Eleanor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
40% of the work on the Draketi to Nambawalu Highway in Vanuatu is complete. According to the China Railway Company, the contractors for the 70-kilometre stretch of road, they're having to deal with niggling issues. Shireen Lata reports.
$76 million worth of work has already been put into the Draketi to Nambawalu Highway, and work remains on schedule. However, it's not all easygoing.
Adverse weather is one of them. Severe rainfall at times, during which we have to delay work. And we also occasionally have problems with the consistent supply of material.
There are 14 bridges to be built on this project, and 3 of them are still under question. The original design was not good enough for the flood flows that have been predicted, and we're trying to work at the moment on what the solution to that might be. All the bridges, in fact, had to be redesigned.
Even as work continues, the ripple effects can be felt in small businesses along the highway.
Right now, while the work is happening, we can feel the business expanding. More people coming in, we're getting more sales.
It's not just businesses. Surrounding communities are already predicting a bright future with the construction of a new highway.
A new road is being built and we are very happy about it. I think this new road will be very beneficial to us in the future.
The $228 million highway will mean shorter traveling times and easier access to a whole range of services. Children will be able to get to school, farmers will reach the market quicker, and the sick will have quicker access to health services. All this will improve the quality of life between Nambawalu and Dreketi. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
A new government vessel has been commissioned. Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama says this is geared towards providing the same level of service for Fijians nationwide. Apisalome Doka reports.
The MV Vunilangi is the second government vessel bought in the last 3 months.
The government shipping service had acquired a new vessel for 29 years. I described it at the time as a national embarrassment for a maritime nation such as ours. And I think few people in Fiji would have argued with that. Well, now we have another new ship in less than 3 months.
While commissioning the ship, Prime Minister Vurenge Bainimarama said government services to the people in maritime zones have been neglected for too long.
For too long, successive governments neglected ordinary Fijians living in these isolated places. In many ways, they are the backbone of our nation, yet they constantly do without the benefits that many of us on Viti level take for granted. These women and men and their families should have been better served over the years. They deserve more resources to empower them and give them the things they needed to improve their lives and those of their families.
The new vessel has come at the right time for the Eastern Division.
Now that we have the second landing craft, has made everything easier. As you can notice, the landing craft Singapore has been loaded, and they will be going out tomorrow, distributing materials to Lamai Viti, Lau and Kandavu in one trip. In the previous vessels cannot do that. They have to travel 3 times.
Government has invested wisely providing this vessel for your talents. I hope this will more or less improve the subsistence of the government.
Very nice, very good size, overall length you can see, and it's very stable. It's very good for Fiji waters.
The 2.4 million boat can carry 30 passengers. It sets sail tomorrow for its maiden voyage, heading for Rotuma. Apisalome Doka, FBC News.
The Social Democratic Liberal Party is visiting chiefs in the Western Division to get their traditional approval before the start of campaigning. Sodelpa leader Rote Mumukepa and other party members met with Tuivunda Ratukitione Tavaingia this morning. The party visited Duvu, Nawaka, Narewa, Navodi and Saunaka villages yesterday and will be moving on to Mba tomorrow. They will spend the rest of the week getting the traditional approval of all the Western chiefs. After the break, asthma identified as emerging problem.
Today FM is #1 here in Singapore.
We like Today FM in Mombasa. It rocks!
My favorite station in Nandi is Today FM.
Listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks in Sabah.
Lodo kasi di love Today's kid music.
I love Today FM because they play all my songs.
We love Today FM at Vunival Mombasa. Yeah, it rocks!
I love Today FM because it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Bulan 2 saya Tolu FM, enapan 2 raki-raki.
Bula FM nampan 2 in Nosor.
Go etawa ke batu kola sa Bula FM nga.
Bula FM nampan 2 Korbu.
Bula FM nampan 2 Sawa.
Bula FM nampan 2 Lotoka. Bula.
Nampan 2 nam Bula FM memba.
Bula FM
nampan 2 NSR in Singapore.
Lo talita ka warong ng Bula FM Lotoka.
Ali akar warong Bula FM nampan 2 NSR.
Bula FM nampan 2 NSR.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Changes are expected in the next few months in the journalism program at the University of the South Pacific. Ellen Stahls has the details.
Patrick Craddock is no stranger to USB, having returned to the school that he started in the 1990s. However, Craddock has signed up for only 1 semester, and the university will have to find a replacement for next semester.
Shailendra will be coming back. So he left to go do his PhD, and he'll be coming back. So we have that member of staff guaranteed to be returning, and he was allowed. He should have been returning at the start of the year, but he applied for extra time, and the dean granted it to him in order that he could finish his PhD. So he'll be back in September. Pat Craddock and Matthew Thompson were very good at stepping in quite quickly when Ian Webber had to leave so suddenly. So in the meantime, we have advertised formally and gone through all the proper channels to ensure that we have another member of staff coming in.
Craddock is working with lecturer Dr. Matthew Thompson, who is from Australia and has a wealth of experience and a doctorate in literary journalism. Thompson is expected to hold the fort when Craddock leaves.
Trying to encourage students to actually pierce through things, to ask tough questions and not shy away from it, not be cowed by the situation or people, but to keep pushing to dig things out for the public.
Craddock would also like to see some changes to the program.
I would personally like to see more depth. For example, both in radio and television, we have one semester each. And that's not long enough, because radio is one skill, TV is another. And if you want to get quality, you've got to do more.
There are roughly 85 students enrolled in the journalism program at the University of the South Pacific, and about 10 of them are working journalists. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Asthma has been identified as one of the 3 emerging non-communicable diseases in Fiji, and today the Ministry of Health officially recognized asthma as an NCD. Savara Tamboa reports.
Today has been designated World Asthma Day, and for people who have been diagnosed with asthma, it's an historical day, as it's the first time it's been commemorated in Fiji. Even more significant is the recognition that asthma is now classified as NCD.
If NCD is a lifestyle disease, then lifestyle must be a solution to your asthma problem. I say it again. If we say that NCD is a lifestyle disease, then lifestyle must form the solution to the problem.
During an asthma attack, the lining of the bronchial tubes swell, causing the airways to narrow and reducing the flow of air into and out of the lungs. Asthmatics know all too well the complications that go with the respiratory diseases.
I think just because of lack of awareness, my parents are police officers by background. They are educated, but due to their lack of awareness of asthma on the condition itself and how it can be managed, it was really poorly managed at home. Like for my case, my parents did not allow me to use a puffer at home.
I am pleading to the government, especially to the minister, for us asthmatic people are not neglected and to be assisted in any way for the disorder to be recognized as a disease. We treat the disease alone using the puffer machine, and after some time it comes back again.
6.5% of death rate in Fiji suffered from asthma over the past 4 years. Savera Tambua, FBC News.
The Consumer Council of Fiji wants the Fiji Medical and Dental Secretariat to speed up the process of handling complaints and providing redress to aggrieved parties as quickly as possible. Rashika Kumar reports.
The consumer watchdog has received 6 complaints from the public about the services provided by the medical practitioners. These complaints have been forwarded to the Fiji Medical and Dental Secretariat, which is charged to protect the health and safety of the public in relation to the practice of medicine and dentistry.
Because there is no response from Dental and Medical Secretariat, they come knocking on the council's door. But we have personally, on behalf of the consumers, we have also lodged about 6 complaints. Until today, no response.
Kumar claims complaints were lodged as far back as 2011 and they are still awaiting a decision. Jokapethi Air lodged a complaint against a dentist who allegedly extracted a healthy tooth, although she had requested gold plating of her teeth.
Just imagine, it's from 2011, now it's 2014. It's bad. Every morning I have to take out my denture, brush my teeth and put it back again.
Krishnil Dutt had 4 operations to have his appendix removed.
Simple appendicitis, I have to go so much operation like this, one cut from here like this, one from line down like that. That's for simple appendicitis. And my family suffered so much. The pain I suffered, it was very painful, but don't know how come these doctors have been given license to practice in Fiji. You don't know what they are doing.
The Dental and Medical Secretariat is addressing these 2 complaints.
Both the cases are nearing finalization. One is where we have advised the complainant that the final letter investigation has been done, the council has made a decision, and with the stage of actually writing to the person in confidence, I have verbally advised the person of the outcome of the complaint. And the other one is a quite serious one, which has been going on, and we haven't left any stones unturned.
The process is not as easy as it may seem. According to the Dental and Medical Secretariat, there are various procedures that need to be followed. One of the cases has been brought before the Medical and Dental Professional Tribunal. The details cannot be divulged. However, an outcome is expected in the future. Rashika Kumar, FBC News.
20 senior government officials will be leaving for China this weekend to spend 15 days in leadership development training. Permanent Secretary Dr. Brijlal will head the group to Beijing and Shanghai. This is the third group to undertake leadership development training in China.
We want to improve the service delivery to masses of people, both in urban and rural areas. It is all part of our reforms to have a well-trained, dedicated, as well as a knowledgeable civil service who is committed to utterly and fully realizing the policy objectives of government.
Last year, Fiji sent 45 public officials to China for the program. And Jamie joins you now with sports.
Good evening. In sports tonight, Fiji Pearls record a convincing win in tournament opener, and Fiji Rugby Union and IRB relationship show positive signs. This and more after the break.
It's always Gold FM for us at Golden Point, Raki Raki.
Gold FM is #1 in Nusrat.
Gold FM is Nandi's best radio station.
It's always Gold FM with us here in Singapore.
Old is gold, and Gold FM is #1 here in Lautoka.
Singapore loves classic hits on Gold FM.
Listen to Gold FM here in Tagua.
We love Gold FM in Bang. We've got beautiful beaches, people, and Gold FM in Raki Raki.
Lautoka loves the classic hits on Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
बात तो बा है बा में रेडियो Fiji 2 के कौन सा के रोके ऑनलाइन क्लियर
रेडियो Fiji 2 रकी रकी के लोग ज्यादा सुनते हैं।
नैनी में हम सबकी पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2।
तालेबू के लोग रेडियो Fiji 2 सबसे ज्यादा सुन रहे हैं।
मेरी पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2, नसोरी में सभी को पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2। तावा में रेडियो Fiji 2 सभी कोई सुनते हैं।
रेडियो Fiji 2 रॉक। रेडियो Fiji 2 I love you।
देश की धड़कन रेडियो Fiji 2।
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The Fiji Rugby Union is on the path of mending its torn relationship with the IRB. The world body has announced it will soon lift its suspension of funding to the FRU, paving the way for Fijian rugby to stand on its feet again. Indra Singh has more.
The Fiji Rugby Union has dug deeper than they have dug before to hear this piece of news.
I think that's the important thing to note, that the house back into order so that all external people, IRB, other stakeholders who want to engage with FRU know that the house is getting in order.
Funds were frozen in January after the FRU was found to be on the opposite end of the IRB requirements. However, the announcement by IRB Chief Executive Brett Gospa that FRU is back on side and the suspension could soon be lifted is the best try scored to date.
We hope to, by May 31st, everything is back as it should be. And like I said, our chairman set the date, May, and that's where we're working towards.
He's always taken a step that we will correct, and I think the first step the board had taken was the direction from the chairman that we will ensure that the correction process will go.
The FRU says they've learnt a lot and it's now about turning the negative into a positive with the June internationals around the corner.
So, I mean, that does not mean that we don't stop correcting. I mean, you correct every day. So it's a good learning curve, and we will still pursue on those kind of things.
There is no clear indication yet on when the funds will be released by the IRB.
I think they were satisfied with the progress. They're definitely sending one of the IRB auditors to have a look, and then next week the person will be here. And once that person is happy and then reports back to IRB, then they release the funding.
In the face of adversity, the FRU has shown a lot of heart and guts. Now it's the road to ensuring the union continues to win the off-field games in order to have the best on the field. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Pearls opened their Digicel Tri-Series campaign with a convincing 67-41 win over Papua New Guinea last night. Coach Julie Hornweg continues to be impressed by the team's performance since she took up the mentor's role just over a week ago. Talen Daudakadaka reports.
The opening game of the Digicel Tri-Series proved to be an entertaining encounter. Local fans had plenty to cheer about as the Fiji side went to work early, pressuring the Pepes into forcing turnovers. Goal shooters Maria Lutua and Afa Rusubakula had a field day in the circle as they capitalized on the massive amounts of possession.
Oh, I was very happy. Not often coaches are happy, but after that one, we put into practice some of the things we've been working on during the week, and I thought they looked very strong, they looked very assertive, and lots of strong ball movement, and then our goal was finished off really well, so a good game all round.
The side had an early morning training session today. Hornweg used this session to iron out the weaknesses that were identified from the match.
We still let ball go, that we shouldn't, a long ball that's only a sort of less than a 50-50 chance of getting through. We have to be a bit more disciplined about that one. And just defensively, although we played well, we need to just tighten up at times. We let the opposition get the ball when perhaps we should have been controlling the situation a little more.
The Matila Wanganindrola-led side takes a break from games today and has a chance to scout its next. This as Northern Ireland takes on Papua New Guinea tonight. Tsalendo Zakavak, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji Under-19 football side has ended its New Zealand tour with yet another defeat. They were beaten 4-1 by the New Zealand Under-20 last night. Despite the second defeat, it was an improved performance from their 5-0 loss in the first encounter. Fiji managed to match the Kiwis in most facets of play. However, the experience in the Kiwi side to advantage of the 10-man Fijian team after it lost Naren Rao to a red card. The Fiji side returns home on Friday to prepare for the World Cup playoffs in Suva from May 23rd to the 31st. After a lapse of 8 years, Fiji will be participating in the Commonwealth Games, where they will compete in 6 sports in July. Praveen Narayan has more.
Some of the sporting bodies that will be competing in the games were at the Fasanok official announcement in Suva today. Athletics, judo, lawn bowls, shooting, swimming and weightlifting will be sending their teams to the games.
Fasanok has set a selection criteria that the athlete should be an athlete. Fasanok is supporting in its high performance program in preparation for Rio 2016 Olympic Games, or be ranked in the top 4 in Oceania through performances held in the last 12 months, or finished in the top 4 in a credible international competition in the last 12 months. Plus, they should have competed overseas in the last 12 months.
Fiji was banned from the Commonwealth after the events of December 2006. A few months ago, the Commonwealth agreed to lift the sports ban, paving the way for Fiji to compete this year. Discussions are underway to secure funding to send Team Fiji to the 11 days of competition.
The organising committee of the Glasgow Games, in their initial bid to host the Games, offered all competing Commonwealth Games federations a grant to help the preparation of athletes. We are finalising these details, and it is hoped that the US $100,000 will be available to Fiji. So once we get all the preparation plans from the sports this Friday, we'll be able to complete that application.
The Sporting Federation have until this Friday to submit their names to the Team Fiji, and Fiji has about a month to prepare for the Games. Praveen Narayan, FBC Sports.
That's it from Sports Tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Fiji trade deficit stood at $249.8 million in January this year. The Bureau of Statistics report on international merchandise shows $366.4 million in imports. Exports totaled $116 million. There were increases in the import of aviation turbine fuel from Malaysia, fresh fish from China, and milk and cream from New Zealand. There was no increase in imports from Singapore, while imports from Australia also dropped. Time to see what Trish has for us in weather today. Sorry, Trish.
Looking at today's conditions, well, the 6 major centers, Suva, Nadi, Lotokamba, Savu, and Lambasa, had fine weather all day except for a few brief showers early in the morning over the eastern parts and interior of the main islands. The temperatures fluctuated as the lowest was Savu with 28, Suva, Nadi, Lotoka were all on 30, but hit 31, and the hottest out of them all was Lambasa with 32. Looking at tomorrow's forecast, Suva and Savu will see some cloud in the morning and clear later in the day, whereas for the rest of the centers, Nadi, Lotoka, Ba and Lambasa should have fine weather all day long. For Mariners, the weather will be southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, up to 20 knots through the passages, moderate to rough seas. The further outlook Friday and the much awaited weekend, more of the same. Now, this beautiful image of Wailoloa Beach in Nadi was sent in by Ashnil Narayan. If you have a wonderful picture, just send it in to citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Recapping the headlines, a family mourns the death of mother and child in freak accident, North Highway construction progressing well, and another vessel to serve maritime islands. This week's question, seeing as how we're progressing towards elections in September, we ask, are the political parties addressing issues of concern to the public? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. You can also watch our nightly news on our YouTube channel. That's it from FBC News team tonight. We'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. Good evening.
Talita na radio Fijuan na muiran na nonda bonua.
Ando talita kana borro na radio Fijuan singa toka boleta ni station ni alumatu.
Ando talita ka bale una borro na radio Fijuan na station ni alumatu elo toka.
Ando talita ka bale una borro na radio Fijuan na mandi na station ni alumatu.
Au tungoi korbo. Ando borro mo live na station ni alumatu na radio Fijuan.
Ando borro na radio Fijuan na station ni alumatu na bandoi tele.
Na radio Fijuan nandu moi bitin bonga ni BNN.